What is up, everyone? The Ubisoft Electronic Entertainment Expo E3 conference has just ended minutes prior to me doing this, and I am Azarville, and I'm here to give you the official recap of the entire conference of Ubisoft E3 2015 press conference. I'm kind of tired right now, so because I've been doing a lot of talking, and just kind of worn out, man. And I gotta run and get to work after this. So, with that being said, the press conference starts off with a new trailer for a new South Park game following South Park: The Stick of Truth, and you see the South Park gang going to a fortress that Doctor Chaos, which is Butters, um, they make a they go to the fortress and he calls them like superhero and friends or something like that, and then they realize they had on the wrong costume. And prior to this, Cartman, he was being all serious. It's like last time it was it was just a fun game, and it kind of break the fourth wall a little bit. um Kind of talking about how they want a 9.5 rating on GameSpot, and just doing a bunch of silly things. And so that they arrive at the fortress that Doctor Chaos had made, and they realized they were in the wrong costumes when Butters had called them like superhero and friends. And they went and they changed it to like these superhero costumes. It was like a fake Batman. One was supposed to be like, I'm assuming it was supposed to be like Robin Hood, except he was like a raccoon with like iron nails. And I don't know, Cartman was it was weird, and Kenny was pretty much still a princess. So the name of the game was actually called South Park and the Fractured Butthole. There's a pun there, but it's literally two separate words, butt hole. And yeah, that's South Park for you. Then Aisha Taylor, yeah, that chick from The View, she's back, and I think she works with Ubisoft now. I didn't know if anybody was in the know. I don't know that, but she comes out. She brings out Matt Stone and Trey Parker there, and they talk more about the game and how they're working with Ubisoft San Francisco to develop the game. And then Aisha Taylor brings out the Ubisoft CEO. Uh, Forgive me if I can't pronounce this guy's name right. Yves Guillemot. I'm just calling him Eves because that's the first name that I know how to pronounce. So he comes out and he talks about his appreciation for all the people who love to play their games and how they take risks to create video games they enjoy, um, how they enjoy making video games they enjoy, fans enjoying. And then he introduces a new IP for the genre. You see a trailer start to play, and you see a bunch of Templar knights and samurais and Vikings fighting amongst each other. And it's a game called For Honor. And Jason Vanderberg comes out to talk more about the game, and he brings out two teams of four players on each team, and they basically go to war with the using the knights and the samurais. And it's a multiplayer game, and it's it's just head-on swordplay action, weapons being slashed, killings, and things like that. And it looks pretty fun. And you can go up to For Honor at Ubisoft, forhonor.ubisoft.com. I think that's the name of the website. You can sign up for a chance to win a customized skin, Xbox One or PlayStation 4, as well as a chance to participate in the beta of the game whenever they decide that it was going to happen, because they didn't announce it. Next up, Aisha Taylor comes back out to talk about the Cruise expansion pack called Wild Run, showcasing motorcycles, race cars, monster trucks, coming November 17th, 2000. Wow, November 17th, 2015. She then cues a trailer, and the trailer is for a game called Trials Fusion Awesome Level Max, which is nothing more than a cat riding on a fire-breathing unicorn. Coming July 24th, if I got that date right. Either it's July 4th or it's July 24th. Like it's one of the two, but it's coming in July. Coming to all current platforms. Then she cues for a Tom Clancy's The Division trailer to play, and Ryan Bernard comes to the stage and talks about the dark zone of the game, which is another area in the game in downtown Manhattan. And they play a demo where um, you're playing as this three-person group, and you're going into this area called the Dark Zone. And in the Dark Zone, you you have to be careful who you team up with. You can team up with people. You're gonna meet people at random, but you can decide whether you want to team up with them or do you want to fight them and try to steal their loot and just take everything for yourself. Whatever the case is, and it's all about working together. And during the demo, you see that they run into it's a group of three members called the Rikers, or it was a faction called the Rikers, but it was only three members there. And while they were setting up to try to work out some plan of attack to go up against the Rikers, two more random people just came from behind them, and they were deciding on whether or not they wanted to team up with them or, you know, or either kill them and the Rikers at the same time. So when the guys that were creeping up behind them, they decided to attack the Rikers, so that they just teamed up together impromptu and just went after them together. And after they took them out, they progressed even further, and they came across a group of guys in heavy armor and using flamethrowers, and they're called cleaners actually. And they destroy all the bodies that have like the viruses in it, and et cetera, et cetera. And so after they make it past them, they decide that it's time for them to head to the extraction point. So uh, they fire up a signal flare, and when the helicopter comes down, the two guys that were with the group, they decided that they were gonna take the loot from them. So they kill them, and in the process of them trying to take those two guys out, one of the members of the team end up getting hurt to the point where they need to revive him. And what happens is that one of the teammates of the three that were doing the demo, one of them decides to betray the group, and he, kills off the other two and makes off with all the loot. So it's a game that's really dependent on, you really have to determine who you're going to trust, because you never know who's going to turn their back on you. So that's basically what the demo kind of presented. So betas for the game will be coming early 2016, and the game will be released March 16th, 2016. Tom Clancy's The Division. And Aisha comes back out to talk about a new city builder game called Anno 2000, excuse me, Anno 2205. I kind of forgot how to pronounce that. By a production company called, by a company called Blue Bytes. And it cuts to the trailer, and it's showing this big metropolis, and then it heads over to a moon rover, and there's this big civilization being built on the moon, or at least like a large factory, it seems. And you have flying ships flying back and forth from the moon back to Earth, and it turns out you can't just start on the moon, you have to work your way up there. So the whole premise is like you're trying to build a city, but the city is it's like not, you know, excuse me, I'm kind of getting kind of at a loss for words because of some background noise. But yeah, but it's kind of like a game like The Sims. There's a lot of flying cars, again, a lot of futuristic civilization buildings and things like that. And it looks like a pretty fun game, like a fun city builder. So there's no word as to when that game will be coming out, but you know, it has no release date yet. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Again, the game is called Anno 2205. And next up, Jacob Altman comes to stand next to her, and he introduces Just Dance 2016. And this is where the show kind of takes a very slow turn of momentum. He announces that you don't need a camera to play the game anymore, which is good. You can now use your smartphone to play it. If you don't have, like, just regardless of your setup, you can still play the game. Next up, Jason Derulo. Yeah, that guy that dated Jordan Sparks. You know, Jordan Sparks, the woman that won American Idol. I think she did, like, I don't know how many years ago. Yeah, he's still making music. And apparently, they had a little, concert right there in the middle of of the show, and he's singing a song, and all the dancers came. And let me just tell you, there is no nice way to say this. That guy's voice was utterly horrible during that entire performance. I mean, no, they could have done without that if he was gonna sing that bad. But you know, they were just explaining everything that was going on with Just Dance, and you know, one of his songs is obviously featured on there. I guess there's a reason why they brought him on stage, because he couldn't sing worth a damn. And you know, they said Just Dance is going to be available on all platforms coming this October, and a new streaming service called Just Dance Unlimited, which is a dance on demand subscription service. So you subscribe to them, and they send new music for you to dance to, you know, over time, I guess. So next, the trailer shows a doctor strapping on gloves with Angela Bassett going underneath the code name Six, and it's promoting Rainbow Six Siege, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And Aisha even brings her out to explain her experiences with the game. They have a nice chat. Angela Bassett explains that, you know, she enjoys it very much, and it was kind of like a different take for her, considering that she plays in movies and, you know, in sitcoms and things like that. It's a different atmosphere for her, and she enjoyed it very much. And so then she brings out and Aisha, she brings out the developer for Rainbow Six Siege, Rainbow Siege 6, Jean Viv. Forget. Some of these names are just foreign to me, and I just can't pronounce them, so I'm just gonna call her Jean for short. But her last name was literally Forget. Funny, because I forget how to pronounce her name. And she mentions that in a mode they have called Terror Hunt, and you can play solo or co-op, as they demonstrated with 5 guys working in a team. And it's kind of literally like a team battle. You have certain guys that acts as like the shield that go in first. They have riot shields that are bulletproof, and they protect the guys that are doing the shooting. And you know, you have the shooters. You have the guys that have the drones that they use to scout all over the area, which they did use during the demo. They had the bombs disabled, and they put a diffuser next to this big bomb that they was trying to disable the entire time. That was the whole goal of that mission. And you know, it was just a big rush of enemies coming towards you during that time. And you know, it's all about team effort. And apparently, you know, during the rehearsal, they didn't finish. The guys that they had there, they didn't complete the mission, so they kind of failed it. But this time they did pass it, and some of the people, you know, some of the developers, and Aisha Tyler, excuse me, she even was surprised that they beat it that time. So it was kind of like crazy. But yeah, it's a fun game. It looks to be promising. The beta of that game starts September 24th this year, available on all platforms. Aisha Tyler then talks about how Trackmania Turbo is bringing its games to consoles. Apparently that was a game that was only available on either PC or on the phone, or whatever the case was. And they played a trailer, and Tommy Vansois and Francois Allo, yes, one of the guy's last names is another guy's first name, and the other guy's first name is the other guy's last name. It's crazy. So Tommy Francois and Francois Allo come out to show a demo of the game, and graphics, and like the graphics of the game are great. And the best way for me to explain it, it's like an update to like a Hot Wheels racing game. That's what it is. Like, they have like a loops, turns, jumps, and you could even create new tracks with just one touch of a button, and the game just like automatically randomizes like a track for you. And it's based on 3 things: the terraforming, the track itself, and the environment, like the trees and things like that. So it's real cool just to press a button and just be able to create, you know, like a different track at random like that. So, but some of them were like short, and some of them were just like, you know, it doesn't look like they take forever. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You guys decide. But it looked pretty cool. Next up, Aisha comes out to to come out. Yeah, she comes out to talk about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. A trailer plays and you see a world set in London, 1886, and you're chasing after this guy who apparently kidnaps children, and you're a part of this faction, or the head of this faction called the Rooks. I believe that's what he called them. And he goes into, well, he spies on him. The main character, I forgot what his name was. They had a guy in the crowd who was actually dressed up as him. I can't remember the name of the guy, but the main character, who is the new assassin, him and his band of rooks, they are spying on this guy that apparently is kidnapping children, and they see this one guy, like he takes like a payment from the guy. I'm assuming just to keep quiet or to keep things in order while he's off, I guess, selling the child on a black market or whatever the guy was doing. And the new assassin, he goes to the bar where the guy is hanging out, him and his band of guys, and he sits in a chair, like kind of reversing, and he's just looking all badass, and he basically challenged him to a fight, and then he's trying to recruit the guys that are working for him to come join the Rooks. So after he beats them up and things like that, he wins over the favor of the crowd, and they all join his syndicate. So I'm guessing that's going to come into play in the video game, where you get to recruit people depending on how influential you are as a leader. So that's cool. So Mark Alex Cato comes out to talk more about the game setting, Assassin's Creed website, to get more info on a demo that'll be coming up. Make sure you go check that out. Aisha comes back out and brings out Yves Guillemot, and he talks about new games being made by developers in Paris. And in the game, you see people talking about Saint Death, and anybody who knows about Saint Death and the drug cartels in the world, how they basically worship Saint Death, and they use that as a reason to kill without any pretty much without any consequence. And they show a demo of pre-alpha footage, and you see guys running down to this drug compound where they have this drug cartel, and the team is trying to snipe this guy called White Hat, or if that's just a nickname that they gave him because he literally had on a white cowboy hat. And they were working as a team to take this guy out. So one guy is the sniper, he snipes White Hat, and then the guys that are bagging up the cocaine, they throw it on the back of a truck, and after White Hat gets sniped, they drive off in the truck, and it's another car with the other teammates going behind the truck trying to catch them. So it was like that, and the name of the game was actually called GhostRecon Wildlands. There's no release date for it yet, but the game, just imagine Ghost Recon with the wide variety of, I would say, the crew, with the crew racing game, and you mash those two things together. So Ghost Recon Wildlands, yeah, this is a Tom Clancy game, by the way. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Imagine being able to go all over the world and do this, and combine and just connect with people all over the world. It's kind of similar with the way the crew is with the United States. It's kind of like they have settings literally all over the world, and at the end of the trailer you see like a map of every continent, and they're just compounds set up all over. I'm assuming that's what they were trying to showcase, but that was pretty much it. And Ghost Recon Wildlands definitely looks like one of the games to watch out for in the near future. So Aisha Tyler then comes back out to give a proper send-off to the conference, and that ends Ubisoft's E3 2015 conference. So they had a lot of good things. Ghost Recon Wildlands definitely had my attention. Assassin's Creed Syndicate looks interesting. Rainbow Siege 6, Angela Bassett, she sold me on that because she did a good job with her acting in that. South Park and The Fractured But Whole, but that seems like a good game. They didn't have a release date for that, did they? No, they did not. So I don't know when that game is coming out. Uh, Other than that, nothing else really caught my attention. Nothing else really excited me. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, that I think I spoke on that. That caught my attention, obviously. But Ghost Recon Wildlands, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking to hear more about Ghost Recon Wildlands. Rainbow Six Siege, that one's most definitely is getting my attention. And I don't even play that many first-person shooters. You guys know that, but that most certainly is catching my attention. Tom Clancy's The Division. Even Anno 2205. The down point of this whole thing was Jason Derulo trying to sing, because if you like, I literally had to turn the sound off in the video and wait for that whole performance to end, because his voice was like that horrible. He was struggling to hit a high note, and it was or hit any note for that matter. But that was Ubisoft's E3 2015 recap. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys for the next recaps for the other companies. Until then, peace.